up in the Bronx and then moved here when you were in 4th grade. Where did you grow up?
All my life, Staten Island.
Really?
Right near St. Roch's Church.
So you pretty much hung out all around here.
And did you go to the elementary school?
No, the element.
Okay, okay.
Sister has a heart condition, so be careful.
Okay.
Do you, what made you...
I went to a public school because the Catholic school didn't accept anybody but Irish children. And I'm not Irish, so I had to go to the public school. PS 21.
What made you decide to come to Villa?
I always wanted to be a sister since I was this big.
Sister Helen?
Go ahead, continue with her, because she has, there'll be a time when she can't, you know.
I guess well, Sister Lois gave us the idea about the basketball team, but anything else that has really changed about Villa from when you
I
graduated?
don't hear you, no, I told you.
What changes have you seen from Villa from when you were here to now? These girls who will be graduating next year.
Let me tell you that part, because I came before she did. When I came here, the room next door to this office was the 4th grade. That's all they had. That's all they had. This was that was a main office, okay? So you had all the students, the few that we were, was to pass through that and go right into the classroom. It was the 4th grade. It was the only class that existed. That's all. It started with us, the 4th grade.
How many girls?
Boys and girls we
Boys
were
and
at
girls.
the time, yeah. Well, maybe we were 8, maybe, I don't remember that. Then we were small grades, and to fit in that little room, if you go and see it, they didn't make that larger. That was how big it was. There was the teacher's desk, and there was our desks were there all day long. And we used to go back and forth from the main office there. That was our classroom.
So to see Villa expand from the one-room classroom to the new building, to the high school, what do you think about that? Yeah.
Oh, God. A lot of difference to high school, sure. Because once we left there and we went into the other classrooms, then life changed for us. And not only that, but they didn't only have the 4th grade. Well, yes, they went up with us.
Mm-hmm. You
Right?
kept adding as you went along.
Yeah. And then we had the building there. We had the auditorium. That was new. We graduated from there.
You were the first graduates?
We
from
were the
auditorium?
first graduates, from that stage. And then on the side we came down this way, and we were tall, considered, and we were below. We weren't there, so we were 1, 2, and then we had the few that were further up.
Is there anything that you would like to add, Sister Boston?
We had wonderful teachers, though. Our sisters. Oh, another one that was wonderful, Mrs. Scott. Remember her? Mrs. Scott was one of the lay teachers, and we loved her tenderly, but she was a real teacher. Okay. She stayed with us quite a few years, ascended with us. Mrs. Scott, yeah.
This is in elementary or in?
This is still
This is
elementary. No, we didn't have the high school yet.
What?
We have to graduate.
You had to
We
graduate.
had to graduate to become in the high school.
What advice would you have for our 2011 graduates?
What?
Advice.
Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom, yeah.
What kind of advice or words of wisdom would you have for these ladies here?
What kind of advice?
Yes.
Oh, just love your school and study hard and be an honor to them. Because not because it's we or us or whatever you want to say in grammar, because now I speak Spanish, 22 years in Chile, okay? But we have been an honor to our congregation and to our students, because the letters she gets, the letters I get, Sister Lois says, Sister, nobody gets them. Nobody. I should have brought a few
Yes.
to see how they express themselves. How they express themselves. One of them, Carmen Surat, she lives far away. Far away. But as soon as she heard that I came back from Chile, she said, Dear Sister Helen, I have to write to you. You were my teacher. And you know what they said for me, other people said it for her too. Don't forget, she's one of us. She really is. And she said, Dear Sister Helen, you gave me a faith in God that was so beautiful. I could never forget you. She said, and I have passed it on to my husband, to my children, and for that I am so grateful to God, because today I am reaping what I have taught them and what I have learned from you. He said, one of my sons says he's going to be a priest. One of my daughters says she's going to be a nun. Sister, what else do we want? And I owe it all to you and to the faith you taught me when I was, and the sisters taught me in school. She sent me a picture about 2 years ago where she is putting the first belt on her son because he was becoming the first, the first helpers in church. Well, they were putting on the belt to distinguish him that he was on the first step.
Jen, why don't you ask about the basketball team?
Sister Lois said to ask about the basketball team. The basketball team?
Oh, the basketball team. Yeah, even I was in the, but I didn't compete because I was studying for the sisterhood at 13, and so was she. But we did have a very, 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 very strong basketball team. But I can't say I didn't, but I can't say that I was, didn't sleep at night to go and do that thing. But I did. I ran up and down and through walls and shit, But it wasn't like it is today that you give your heart and soul and after school and no. It was a real strong sports in our school.
Do you have any other?
Let's see.
And
we were very, 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 very popular because on the regions we were always very high in our averages. Oh yes.
for the school.
We always got excellent, excellent marks in the...
This is your first, this
and
is the
the
graduating
first
class.
year after I became a nun, because she and I became nuns in this building. In this building. upstairs was what we call the novitiate. The novitiate, Novitiate. That's where they prepared us and a few others to become nuns. Real training, girls, okay? Spiritual training, religious training, okay? And there was a reason why I was telling you that. See, sometimes.
That's all right.
Wait, there was a reason why I was telling you that. Why should I forget why I was telling them that?
Pardon me.
Why did I forget why I was telling them that? Oh, well, anyway. And then during that time, we were very young. Some of us, she and I know for sure, were brought to college because our school was still not accredited by Albany. By Albany. It was not accredited, especially in languages. Okay? Now, what was very strong at the time, and I had Sister Immaculate Sereni, but she's in heaven now, but they wanted me to follow her footsteps. So, with another sister, Sister Modestine, they used to take me to Fordham College every Saturday to take extra courses in Latin, so that when I would finish the training in this building, I could go straight into the teaching field, and they could send for Dr. Thompson in Albany to come and sit in my 4 classes, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, okay, in my 4 classes, and give us what they called el visto bueno, the signature that, yes, we were authorized as a permanent school.
When you were a student here,
I graduated from here,
right.
I went to novitiate here, and I went back to
Came
teach
back.
Latin 6 years.
Okay.
I think she went back for science, didn't you? Did you teach science? And she taught science. She was always science. I was always language.
When you were teaching here, were most of the teachers also
I
nuns?
taught almost 6 years. And as soon as I finished becoming a nun, or that we call it profession, as soon as I became a nun, I went into the classroom to teach Latin. And that first day, I had the big surprise to see Dr. Thompson from Albany sitting in my language classes, my 4 language classes. But you know, at that time I didn't get nervous like I get now. I was I'll show him. I'll show him. And I did show him, because he went to the office after the 4th Yahai, and he said, it can't be better. Can't be better. So we passed as a school because we had everything with the okay of Albany.
So how do you feel? We're going to have the 75th graduating class. How does that make you feel?
It's beautiful, but you know, you should have come one more year before I started to. It's lately that I'm becoming, that I'm like a forgetting, you know. Yeah, I am. Sometimes I have to say, but I know her. But I don't know her, but I know her. Like yesterday I met one of your teachers. He's a gentleman. Who are the gentlemen in the high school?
Mr. Storch.
I think he teaches music or something? No. Maybe he has a wife that teaches there too?
Mr. Storch.
Mr. Storch.
His wife teaches music.
But he teaches here.
Yeah,
because while he
he's a
was
social
talking
studies
to me, I was in the big chapel praying, and all of a sudden